This episode of the One Shot Podcast, as usual, is sponsored by tryhavocenergy.com. I already finished my serving beforehand, so I don't have anything to show you, but you guys know where to go to. Tryhavocenergy.com. Use code HAVOC for 20% off your order. Now, enough of hearing that same thing that you've heard a million times. Let's get to the podcast episode. Let's go. What is going on, everybody? You guys should know who it is. The host with the absolute most, Mr. Ranks HTX. I'm here once again with another episode of the One Shot Podcast. I'm here with the head honcho himself, the diabolical genius, the boss man himself, my boy Blake. How are we doing today? What's going on?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me. How are you doing?
Doing great, doing excellent. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to lie, this is the highlight of my day. I've been frustrated all day. All of my CDL matches I've been watching have gone absolutely wrong. Life is not going great. This is the highlight of my day.
Bad couple of matches. What's your favorite team?
Favorite team? Well, I'm a Texas guy, so first is Optic Texas. Second has to be Toronto Ultra. Watching them play, like teamwork-wise, is just beautiful. And they're a great control team. Perfect.
All right, fair enough. I'm a FaZe guy only because I just grew up watching so many FaZe videos, FaZe Adapt, like all those guys. I just grew up learning my content from them, so I can't say no to FaZe. But Optic, I'd love to see Optic win. You know,
for sure.
Like, I wouldn't complain.
For sure, and that's a very respectable answer. Actually, as a matter of fact, I think in terms of seed, they may be the first seed in the CDL right now, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure they should be. No, FaZe. My bad.
Oh, FaZe, yeah, of course, yeah. They have draws and the Tiny Terrors. I would imagine nothing less.
Those Tiny Terrors are different, bro. Holy.
I haven't actually been watching much this year. I went to Champs for Vanguard, and then I watched every single match last year, even the ones like when it was like Surge and Rocker playing, like no one really cares. Mm-hmm. And then this season, I didn't even know when it started. Now we're like halfway through already?
We're still in the qualifiers for Major 2. It is kind of going a little slow. It's going pretty slow. Don't know why.
Major 2, that's craziness. They gotta speed that up.
Yeah, we did. Before it was supposed to be 5, now it's 4, and then Champs they're like heavily spaced apart. It's kind of ass. I'm sorry. CDO, step your shit up, 100%. So, for those of y'all that are watching right now, you may have looked at the title and you're like, I got Blake, but where did I get Blake from in terms of, because you may be looking at the title and spelled I and then BLAKIS. Because that was the thing that threw me off when I first met you. I'm like, I don't want to say this wrong. I really don't. But that's why I asked.
Yeah, it's iBlakis. I mean, the original name, is just Blakis, of course. My childhood friend I just knew from birth. His name was Otis, and his sister was Chlois, and they were just my second family. I just was always over there, just legitimately second family, and I was so close with them. And Blakis came out one day, because my original name's Blake, and Blakis came out, and it sounds really natural. It sounds like a name that would kind of exist. It's not far from Otis or Chlois, and it just stuck. And I mean, teachers, coaches, I've been called Blakis most of my life, so it just kind of sticks in there, but definitely gets read wrong, so we're kind of Blakis is kind of fading away, and we're just sticking to Blake right now on the socials, because iBlakis comes off a little different to some people.
Some people, they read it as, I don't know, maybe read it as Blackis or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes you may have to go through the usual, hey, that's not how you pronounce my name, it's pronounced like this, or hey, just don't even try, just call me Blake.
Or I don't even say anything at all, and I'm just Blackis until someone says it right one day, and that person just feels dumb.
Yep, and they're like, oh, I've been sitting around this whole time, and they're like, shh. Yeah,
it's all good, man. You're good. I just thought about it every single day for since I knew you, but no big deal.
That's why I asked, because the thing with me was, I'll be honest, I'm Nigerian, so I don't have the most easiest pronounced last name. It's nothing crazy or complicated. It's really just the fact that there's an N and then there's a W, which threw everybody off since I was alive. Realistically, since I was alive. So it's go ahead.
You'll throw me off. I can't read any names. I get every single name wrong. I've gotten the sketch where the substitute teacher, the Key and Peele, because Balake, I've also been called Balake forever. I'm the equivalent of the substitute teacher, just accidentally.
Yeah, man.
I'll blunder all the same names.
Yeah, man. I know it hurts sometimes because I'm like, they're supposed to say my name, then they say it wrong, and I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, that just ruined all
half points.
And I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, and I gotta go to them yeah, you said my name wrong. They're like, oh, sorry about that. I'm like, yeah. And then I gotta just walk off, and it cuts off half the anticipation you had beforehand. I'm just like, all right, well, try again next time.
That's that. Maybe they'll remember.
Yeah, for sure. Or when they say it right, it's like, they did it. They said it right.
Yes, I love this person.
I already like you, boy. You know what I'm saying? Oh, beautiful time, beautiful time. So, off the rip, I want to ask, for those people who are tuning in, this is their first time realistically ever seeing you or hearing about you. I've known about you for a while, but to those people who are new, let's say they don't know who the hell Blake is today, inform them on who Blake is today.
I am one of the co-owners and founders of DSB Media Agency and also a video editor. More commonly known as the owner of DSB now, because that's certainly more of my work. I started as a video editor, just working with various clients and trying to leverage my position from space to space. And, now here we are. I'm also a dog dad. You'll see my dogs. I have a wiener dog and an Australian Shepherd. You'll see walking back and forth here. You can see these are two baskets of toys right here. So I'm definitely a full-time dog dad outside of this. And, I'm a gamer too. I enjoy my fair share of games. If I'm not editing a video or sitting in Discord calls, I'm playing probably Helldivers right now.
Oh,
Helldivers or Power World.
Top two games. I started getting into Helldivers. I'm not gonna lie. There's something about it. Like, you'll look and be like, wow, it's been 3 hours. No way.
Yeah, it feels like COD. Like, I was a COD kid at first. I used to grind the leaderboards. Like, I was, top in the world for score for like all the jetpack CODs, and I tried doing my share in competitive, even though I was not good. But I loved COD, and I just need another FPS. But COD now is so hard. It's so difficult. You have to slide cancel. You gotta do everything in your power for like one kill. I don't have, like, I haven't played games since, like last Friday. For someone to call themselves a gamer who hasn't played in a week, I just can't stick to COD. So Helldivers can go in there, mindlessly just blow shit up. It's just mindless fun. And like you said, before you know it, 3 hours have passed. My girlfriend went to bed and she's mad at me now because I forgot.
Yep.
But yeah, those, and Power World. Oh, I didn't even grow up on Pokemon, but Power World, I'm just same thing. I'm like, oh shit, it's nighttime. I got on when it was still dark.
Exactly. That I feel like that's the point of games that a lot of us have sort of lost sight on. Like, too many people are starting to see, hey, here's my favorite streamer playing this one game and he's really great at it, and let me watch this guy and sweat my lungs out because I want to go and move my family out the hood to be some streamer. But it's like, hey, what happened to, hey, let me just get online because the stress of life is getting to me and I'm done with all my work. Let me hop on, enjoy myself, escape reality for like a couple hours, and then probably hop back into reality for a little bit. But, for the time being.
And I was in that space last year with MW2. Like, I would just work all day and come home and play MW2. And I was trying to play comp.
Horrific.
And I was like, what am I doing? And like, literally one day, I think we were playing, who knows, ranked or whatever. And I was like, I suck at this. Why? Like, I'm legitimately bad at this game. Why do I keep playing this? I come home from work after 12, 14-hour shifts, and then would get on COD and like be miserable. And then I would go to bed and go to work the next day and just do it again. And so at some point last year, I was just like, I'm done. I can't. And I just started focusing on editing last year. I was like, COD sucks. I have no games I like. I'll just make videos. Like, that's how I started doing it.
Yeah, that was literally what I remember. I forgot which podcast episode it was, but I think I was talking to somebody and I brought up that same exact point. I'm like, somebody, and it's crazy because this is a real life example of exactly what I just said. I literally said there's somebody out there right now who gets up early, goes to work, 10, 12-hour shifts, tired, stressful, dealing with people all day. They come home and they want to play Call of Duty and they have to play this shit. I'm like, they have to play this shit.
Dude, I fit that mold so perfectly. So I was starting at the very beginning of 2023 or at the end of 2022, I got a promotion. I got a new job. I was promoted to run a kitchen myself, to be a head. I was technically just like a lead line cook, but we were in a retirement community with like 150 residents. And so that just I'm not like a line cook like you'd see in like a Gordon Ramsay restaurant where I'm in charge of like just a couple stations. Hey, make sure you do X, Y, Z, whatever. Like, I just ran the entire kitchen, orders, staffing, all the budgeting for my part of the day when I worked, which was, I got up every day at 4 a.m. Oof. My work was 45 minutes from my apartment. So up at 4 a.m., my shift started at 5 a.m. And I was making breakfast for 150 residents alone. I would have 2 servers maybe, but all my servers were high school students.
Oh, Lord.
So imagine trying to get a high school student to still wake up and come to work at 5 a.m. every single day.
Salute to them too, because what, like 4 or 5 a.m. in high school? Like, oh Lord, that is crazy.
Oh yeah, shout out to them. Like they're grinders. Like they are, I respect them for that. But also like they were so miserable coming into like they'd be like, I'm tired. I'm like, yeah, I'm tired too. Like, I got here before you. And I worked all day, and because I ran everything, if something were to go wrong, which it's a kitchen, something goes wrong literally every single day.
Inevitable.
Yeah, it's inevitable. I stay late, and so I would come in at 4 or 5 a.m. and I'd leave 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Some days I would just end up closing, so I'd leave at 10 p.m.
Oh Lord.
Get home at 11 p.m. Maybe I would eat, but usually I just go straight to bed, go to work the next day. And then in between that, if I had free time, I was playing MW2. Are you fucking kidding me? No.
That's the worst way to. Oh, what bounce of free time I play. Here goes these 4 stacking 21 Savage skins spraying my body. I'm like, oh Lord, like this again. Nah, man.
Yeah, no, it didn't work at all. Oh my God. And on top of that, like I live in Northern California now. If you're anyone who pays any kind of bills anywhere, us in California, they're more expensive than yours probably, unless you're in New York.
Oh yeah.
And I lived in Santa Rosa, which is an hour and a half north of San Francisco. So you get all the negative consequences of San Francisco without any of the benefits, because you're not actually in there, and you get the same cost of living.
Oof.
So everything was extremely expensive, and our wages were just in the ground. Like I was making $16 an hour, and the rent I had to pay alone was $950 a month, and I was splitting it with 3 people.
Oh,
like for a 2-bedroom apartment. My upstairs neighbor, she was a meth addicted schizophrenic. So when she gets real loud, try negotiating with her. She pulls fire alarms and threatens you with a gun. By the way,
Jesus Christ!
And I have witnesses.
Christ.
If someone doesn't believe me, I have witnesses and videos to these stories of this crazy upstairs lady.
100p we need videos of that. Yeah, we needed. Anything goes wrong, this is what happened. This is what I had to do.
Yeah, it was not great. And so all that work and plus the stress of everything, and then playing MW2, I just was like, we're retiring, we're uninstalling, we're done.
Yep. Oh Lord.
I used an unlock tool in Warzone 1, so I was hardware shadow banned too.
Oof.
So like if I played too good, I quickly just played hacker lobbies. So I mean, I've been used and abused by Activision, man.
Man, it's getting to be more and more of a chore to play Call of Duty in general, I would say. But the thing is, like, the rewards are just more and more diminishing, if anything, because it's like, there's some people who are full-time streamers and content creators. I think it was Knight, I remember, because I would see all of his tweets I think this was during Modern Warfare 2. He would always tweet saying, hey, I'm shadow banned again. Call of Duty, what do I do? Then he'd be like, unshadow banned for 2 days. I'm shadow banned again. And I'm like, dude, this is his whole livelihood. and he had a kid. And I'm like,
no, I'm good. I'm good on that. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I could not. No.
Yeah, just no. Just no.
I just can't. And if COD was my livelihood, like I just can't. When the game's in a bad state, like even when I was a casual fan of it, like I was just a kid in high school playing the game every day, there was times where I was like, COD sucks right now. The last update broke the game. I'm not going to play for 2 months. Can you imagine that it's your job?
Whole livelihood, like, bro, I'd lose it. Go from account to account to account, like, bro. It was aggravating, man. It was honestly just aggravating, man. It really was. It was aggravating. And then on top of that, what is it called? Funny story. There's a guy I know, my boy Meduse, right? I work with him. I create a majority of his short form content for him. There was one time where I brought him onto a podcast, right? I brought him on twice, actually. One was by himself, and another one was with, because he used to be the owner of what's now more of a community, but at one point it was like an organization for gamers. It was called Team Next. So I remember I had him and another owner on there, and I remember he was telling me the story of when because he's in Iowa, and I think the Raven Software like officer headquarters is like really close to him, like by close to me like an hour or so or something like that, maybe even like more than that. But he didn't care how far it was, because he bought Modern Warfare 2, and like within the month of like Modern Warfare 2, the month he bought the game, he got banned, like full on indefinite ban. And I'm like, granted, there are some people where you're like, if they got banned, I'm like, well, yeah, you're the type of person to kind of deserve that shit. But
Yeah.
Meduse was not. I'm like, there's no way in God's green earth he's hacking. There's no way. He was like, he was frustrated. So bro literally tells me he takes his PC, puts it in his truck, and drives all the way to the freaking Raven Software headquarters because he's like, dude, somebody needs to tell me where the hell the hacks are on this PC. He just spent $70 on it.
Them.
Like, so somebody needs to find him, all right? Now, granted, it wasn't very successful, you know what I'm saying? He tried to get to the door, nobody answered. You know what I'm saying? Makes sense. You know, they've probably, that's probably not the first crazy person who came up there like, hey, I'm banned, or hey, this game sucks, fix this shit. So
they're like, get the fuck out of here.
They're kind of prepared at this point. Like, all right, this is going to happen a little more. So
yeah, I don't think there's like devs at Raven who are like, oh, hey guys, there's an angry 15-year-old, or, you know, however old this guy, there's an angry guy at our door. He says he got banned on Warzone. Do you think we could fix this problem? They're like, no, tell him to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
They're like, did the cops come and get him? Like,
yeah, but for sure. But I understood this from. Yeah, I cannot talk. I understood his frustration at the time because it's like, yeah, I just bought the game. I don't even. Were they even? There always were hacks, but there were definitely hacks out for that game. But he definitely was 100. I could 100% vouch he was not hacking at all. Yeah. Then, like, he was making a YouTube video after YouTube video, and I thought it was just him. And I'm like, there were some other people I knew that were like, yeah, if you get hardware banned this fast when the game's out, he's probably hacking. But I'm like, there's no way Medusa's hacking. No way. And then, an article came out. A lot more people started coming out saying, hey, I'm on console and I got hardware banned for hacking. How is that possible? So, and then it wasn't just him. Then it was a lot more people at one point. And then it was like too many people just getting banned. Like, just not even shadow banned. It just went from not banned, indefinite ban. No explanation. So I was like, wow, that's crazy. So then he had to come out. And at one point, they came out and said, hey, we're starting to unban people after a while, after going through and seeing the reason why. Then they came out and he had ended up coming out and said, hey, I'm unbanned. I'm like, okay, see, that's great. Everybody's saying you were hacking. I knew you weren't hacking. You know what I'm saying? I knew you weren't hacking. It's crazy. So yeah,
you remember when or do you know when remember when Jimbo got banned? When he was at Challengers at the LAN tournament, he got banned live, and he's like, yes. I know cheater. COD said I'll give my account back, and everyone's like, and we just haven't heard from him since.
Yeah, bro, I was like, damn, I forgot about that.
I want to say that was Vanguard Champs, because I think I don't know if that's right. I totally might just be like misremembering, but I feel like I was at the event and I saw it all happening, and I was like, that's happening like on the other side of the wall from me, because that's where like Challengers was in the event center. And I was like, this motherfucker just got banned and then tweeted like he's not cheating on LAN. What the fuck? Was he cheating while I was like so confused. But Jimbo, loser.
Insanity, bro. Getting banned in real life, like, so, dude, that I want to. There's so many ways this can go. Either he brought a flash drive with the hacks on there to download the software, or he found a way to download it quickly on that because that's some insane.
I don't even know.
That's some insane.
Who knows?
Work.
If he's a professional cheater, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he no, not really. You got banned.
Yeah, real. True.
For sure. So, I did want to say, in terms of your sort of, I guess, professional or career route, because I know you said you were a head chef and you were responsible for, you were working damn near like 12 to like 14 plus hour shifts, right? So, besides the fact that you basically had to run the whole damn show yourself, they weren't paying enough and the prices of everything else were going up. Were there any other additional factors that sort of drove you more towards content creation? And I would say more positive factors. Like, what was the point where you said, hey, I can actually, or I'm good enough at content creation, I'm good enough I can actually make a living out of this? Did it start with you working with creators, or did it start with you making your own content?
Yeah, no, it definitely, like, I think I don't know, it's hard. Like, I definitely say this, I guess, lightly, but like I relate to Mr. Beast heavily in the sense of like being the weird kid that only watched YouTube, and like I couldn't relate to anything else. And like in the exact same way, I only knew baseball and I only knew YouTube, and like that was my two personality traits. And like I wore like it was when YouTubers started making merch, like Tobuscus. I got bullied so hard for wearing his hoodies, and like I've always wanted to make videos. I've always been a part of like this content creation space, like from the dawn of it, and I have videos out there that are 10 years old that I found just not the other day, like 1 or 2 months ago, but videos from me when I was 12 years old, making content, screaming into the camera on my shitty Asus laptop, playing like Minecraft.
Yeah.
I've always made videos, and I've just grown up. I've always, in some form, been creating. I have 3 brothers. We've always done bits and made dumb little skits for YouTube, and I don't even know if those are posted out there. But I've just always loved creating. That's just who I am. It kind of worked out that I got a chef job, so then I was like creating in food, kind of. But unfortunately, the biggest factor that pushed me to really focus on this was how much I just was miserable with work, and I wasn't enjoying video games. Like, truthfully, there's another universe where MW2 is a good COD, and I'm not where I am now because I was addicted to playing it. But like, I was like, I know the space. When I watch Mr. Beast on a podcast or watch these creators on a podcast, they don't say things that I don't know. I'm like, I know exactly what they're talking about. Like, this is new information for people, but I've known this for a while. When people were coming to me with like these expert questions, and I was helping a lot of people grow. And I was like, I got to do this. I focused. I locked in. I was playing a lot less. I was talking to my my squad way less, unfortunately. And that sucks. That's part of life when you start focusing on things. But then the biggest factor happened was I was moving. I was leaving Santa Rosa, and I was moving here to where I live now in Sacramento. And I wouldn't have. Well, I had job offers from the same company just to transfer over here. I was like, no, fuck it. I'm gonna bet on myself. I know I can do it. In May of 2023, I moved in the end of June. So in May, Dot had hit me up, another owner of DSB. And he's like, hey, there's this program on TikTok that we're, the ad program that we work in now. He's like, there's this program I'd love for you to edit for me to do this. I love the work you do with Boom Kid. Would you help me? And, we joined forces together in that, and none of these ventures made me a ton of money. I worked for free forever. The amount of work I've done that's out there now that had significant results and had significant growth and really put people on a pedestal was probably edited by me for free or an extremely cheap price, because I just knew that like I had to get better and I had to improve my skills. And I met Dot, and he pushed me along, and I knew he was popular in the space, and things worked out, and I made as much money as I can, and it just kept growing and kept wanting to build and build and build and build. And at no point was it the definitive choice of like, I'm doing this, I can, I'm so smart. It's just like, I'm gonna try. I want this is what I want my career to be in some shape or factor. I started as a creator, then I quit creating, and I started becoming an editor. And it just I wanted to work in the space so bad. I just learned all of it and got really good at all of it and helped as many people grow as I could, and here we are now.
I like the fact that you have pointed out that for a long period of time you were honestly creating great content, but for free, because the objective was to learn, to get better, because you see how all these other creators are doing it, or how their videos look, whether they edit the videos or not. Regardless, the videos still perform very well, and they're very entertaining for people to watch. So I think that's a message to other creators out there, because I know a decent amount of people who think money first. I'm trying to make all this money first, and without learning a bunch. And it's like, sometimes you can almost tell when they're trying to skip all those steps. Like, hey, you need to learn how to do X, Y, Z, then learn how to do this, is, that, and the third. And then you'll get to the point where you're making much more money. Maybe not a certain amount, but you start making a significantly more. What the hell am I trying to say? Essentially, you're trying to make more money than how you're making before. I'm trying to sound too complicated, but yeah.
And how I did it exactly was, of course I see my value. I was working a job I hated and not making enough money, and the time I have is valuable. The limited time I had was valuable. So of course it's hard for me to just agree to doing, work. And I still love editing. It didn't feel like work. I wasn't angry having to do it. Don't get me wrong, I'd be tired, so I might be a little grumpy. Yeah. But I wasn't, like, oh, fuck this editing. I hate having to do this for free.
Yeah.
I wanted to learn. I wanted to get better, and I knew what I had to do to improve in the space. And when you're doing freelance work and you're trying to prove your worth, especially like as a creator and or editor, as a creator with 0 followers, you're worth nothing to brands. You're worth nothing. You're worth nothing to anybody. If you stop creating, no one's going to blink an eye. But, you create content for free. You post everything for free until you can gain a following. Same goes for being an editor or anybody who's just part of a social media team, a social media manager, someone who does the posting, or a graphic designer, or, whatever. You got to show your value. You got to show what you can do. And you just do that by working for free. Mm-hmm. Like, as much as your ego might not want to do that, you might just have to eat shit or work for free. Because, the people I was working for free were nobody. I was saying for free for nobody. 1, I knew they didn't have the money to pay. 2, they weren't getting the views, so it wasn't going to they weren't making the money back. And, you know, who am I to charge them a shitload of money?
Yeah.
Like, I haven't done anything. And so that question being like, who am I to do this? And then I got to a point where I was like, oh fuck, people know who I am. I should probably start charging more money. And that's when I started like trying to like, okay, I can maybe do this full time. But then I didn't go from like charging like a free and then a little bit of amount of money. I was pretty much always charging nothing. And then I just got to a point where I just started taking percentages because I knew how hard I'm working, and I know how hard I work can exponentially just go and just I can start working harder, and the views can go up and the money can go up, and I'm still making no money from the creator.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, if I'm working this hard and we're doing this much, I'm just as much as a part of your team, and I have just as much of a factor into your earnings, so you need to give me X amount. And I had a couple people fight me on that. I lost a couple of jobs, but at that point, I knew my value, and also I had to weigh out, like, do I really want to work for this person?
Yeah, that's another question you got to ask yourself. Like, yeah, okay, cool, maybe I lost an opportunity, but then think about it. Like, if I presented this question to them, or hey, if I presented this, like, hey, we're going to start doing X, Y, Z, if they respond poorly, it's like, let's say another situation came up in the future. What if they respond the same way? Would I still really want to work with this person? So
yeah, and you know, I've worked with a few creators who were really a nightmare, whether it was late getting me money or they don't know what the hell they want in their videos, so that I have to do like 40 revisions because they don't have a vision. So I just gotta create something, and if you know, like how do I know what you want if you don't know what you want?
That's the worst.
You know, everyone's got stories like that. That's nothing unique. You just brush those off and you learn. And part of it is I had a job to support my income, so I could kind of brush off clients. And I was picky with my clients who I worked with because I was like, I need quality work that's going to make me progress and make me learn. I can't just do anything and everything just because I need money.
Yeah.
Like you have to draw the line between like what you want to do and what's worth it, and then what's just like, I'm wasting my fucking time.
Yeah.
Like, you know, someone's like,
yeah.
Yeah, well, some people offered me pretty good money for like a pretty little amount of work, but I knew how miserable I'd be in doing all that work, so I was like,
it's not worth it.
Keep it.
Never
keep
is.
it. And I just found bigger work and bigger clients, and I've been able to leverage myself into some nice positions. And you know, if you're an editor out there, or anybody who's managing a content creator, try and get a percentage. Try to if you have a salary right now and you make pretty good money, maybe don't. Maybe ask for a smaller percentage. But if like, you know, you're only getting paid $100, $500 a month to do what you think is a lot of work, to do a lot for this creator, to take a lot of stress off the creator, start asking for a percentage. Don't say I want $500. Say I want 25% of everything you earn from this. You know, if they're a streamer and you're just posting their TikTok videos, you don't deserve their Twitch money. You deserve their TikTok money.
Yeah.
But you know, that's how I went about things, and it works out because if you're making more money, the creator's making more money, and they're happy shoveling it over. If they're making more, they don't give a fuck. Most of the time, at least. Most of the time, they don't have a problem shoveling that money over.
It depends on the person for the most part, but
I've had some really late PayPals. We'll just say that.
Yeah. You know, it's okay because those are in the past. I do also want to say it also motivates you a little more once it's a percentage, because now it's less of like, hey, I could just put out some bullshit, or maybe I don't have to do as much. I still get paid the same amount. Who cares? But now it's like, hey, I put my absolute all into this. This video took off. All right, there's that dopamine hit of, hey, my hard work is actually paying off. You know,
yeah.
Or let's say I didn't put as much effort into this, video doesn't do good, then it like hits you like, damn, I need to put more effort into this. I need to put more effort into each and every single video that I produce for this guy. Because now the amount you make is directly tied to, let's say, your expertise and your effort now. So definitely percentages are a great way to go, because if you grow, well, if they grow, then you grow as well. And more than likely, they're going to keep you alongside, because they're like, hey, this motherfucker's making me do numbers. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking out, we're conquering the world with this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. The people who have really helped grow, they've all been like, let's go, let's do this fucking thing. And the people who were like, it was kind of like stagnant, you know, they brushed me off at the same time. Like, I brushed them off.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't growing, I'm not growing. Yep. Fuck them.
You know what I'm saying? Fuck them. Hey, appreciate the service. Respectfully, go fuck yourself. But anyway.
There you go.
You know, so, and another great thing, or another great question I want to ask, what are some of the techniques that you would say that you learn when it comes to creating content? I think especially in terms of, actually, we could touch on both. But I want to say, let's start with short form content. you see the creators you've worked with. I know you say you've worked with Boom Kid. He's a great creator in the scene of Call of Duty in terms of ranked play, even for Warzone as well. In creating his videos, what are some great techniques that you learn? Like, obviously, there's little things you learn, like, hey, I got to do this. I got to put this to start the video. I got to make sure the video loops. This is that and third. But
yeah, the main thing I learned was the hook. My hooks have drastically improved. As an editor, how much I've, of course, we talk the content back and forth, the script before it goes up. Not all editors have that, but if you're an editor or a creator, the hook in the beginning of the video matters way more than anything else. If your hook is bad, just no one's gonna watch. You could have CGI like Mr. Beast and the planet's exploding behind him and whatever, but you could have just a boring ass hook and no one watches. You gotta get people's curiosity, and just like the techniques. I haven't picked up any editing ones. I don't have any gold to tell you, unfortunately. Like, make sure you always put a black border on your text. Yeah. Make sure you're always making certain text glow. Make sure this. I don't have anything like that. Make the video clean. Make the video easy to watch. That's my philosophy. Is I try to avoid hard cuts. Everything transitions in a way. Everything feeds into something else. Same goes when you're building a storyline for short form or long form. Everything connects. Everything's a spider web in some sort. If an animation moves, if something's moving, if something in motion makes noise, so you add a sound effect. If they mention something in the hook, you can't just leave that topic in the hook out and not mention it. I can't even think of something right now. I'm fried, but or just been working all day. But just make the content easy to watch and easy to consume. Don't make the viewer work so hard. It's fun watching movies like Knives Out or is it The Glass Onion? Where they're like the little clues are throughout the movie, and you can actually figure out the mystery at the end and be like, oh, the foreshadowing. Don't make content like that. No one cares. Go watch a movie if someone wants to watch a video like that.
Yeah.
Make the content easy to watch and easy to consume. Understand most of your audience is a casual viewer. So even if you're making competitive content on a video game, make it easy to consume for the person. Leave out the big words. Keep your conversation simple and make it seem like you're talking to the person. The person's heard. As much as the editing makes a big difference, I cut out a lot of things that Boom says. But believe it or not, as cohesive as his videos are, there's a lot in between that gets removed because I don't feel like the conversation flows and it doesn't feel like something he would actually say. There's like 30 seconds in there. It's like, the fuck are you talking about? so you just remove it from the story. And as great of a point he made, and as much as it might establish what he said more, some people are going to get confused. I got confused. I'm your editor. So just making it easy to consume, and that's however you do that is really on you. And don't be afraid to try new things. That's a great point.
Yep.
I'm always trying new things in Boom's videos. You can see, I play with the strokes and where the subtitle pops up and how things zoom and when things pop up and when things glow and the sound effect rolls in. And I can be very formulaic with it, but I'm also like, I got to get rid of this formula and try something new because we can do better. And I've figured out things where I'm like, okay, this is 100,000 views every time, but I threw it out and unfortunately forgot it, but trying new things to find the new formula and rebuild. And I think all around that'll just make you better because I don't really fear many content types anymore.
And there's another great thing that people also need to understand is they need to at least analyze their own content from a viewer's perspective. So, hey, cool. It makes sense in your head. Cool. You're the guy who spends 8 hours plus a day playing Call of Duty. Cool. I don't know what the hell you mean by this, and that, and throw all these fancy terms to, it's simple for us because we play Call of Duty all day. Okay, but also understand that there's some guy who's, maybe this is the first time he's seen your video, make it as consumable as possible. And that's the thing I tell people all the time. Look, if you don't even want to watch your own videos from a viewer perspective, why do you expect other? That's pretty selfish, if anything. Like, hey, I'm going to upload some shit and you guys all should watch it. Hey, how about you watch it? Nah, I don't want to. Like, what? Like, you don't even enjoy your own content. That's unfair to make everybody else.
Yeah. And I don't know, this might not come off right to all people, but like, I enjoy a lot of the videos I make sometimes. I'll go back and I'll watch them, but then I'll watch them like 5 or 6 times, and eventually I'll be like, this sucks. This video's horrible. I gotta fix this. And then but I start spotting issues to fix next time. And then that next video I'm like, this is better. I fixed X, Y, and Z. But I watch it a couple times and I'm like, this is terrible. Why the fuck did I let him post this? This is so bad. Like, it's, and that's that's how it is. Watching it from a viewer's perspective, and just because it makes sense to you does not mean it makes sense to the next guy. You know,
exactly.
Can I cut this part of the story out and part A and part C works without B? If it doesn't, you'd need to fix something.
Mm-hmm.
Your storyline needs to be corrected. So.
Yep. And especially with the introduction to, I guess, our social media repertoire, at least the platform TikTok, people, I mean, it's changed the game for short form content, like, entirely. I think short form content really wasn't even that popular until TikTok, to be honest, because it's introduced, like, so many different factors that people have to apply, like how you mentioned, the hooks, having to keep the viewer engaged, or almost giving them enough context at the start of the video to where it's like, hey, I know what you're going to talk about. If I am somewhat interested, I'll watch it. If I still don't know what the hell I'm talking about and I'm 10 seconds in, I'm swiping off. Or if they don't, I think the average scroll rate, if I'm not mistaken, for TikTok, I remember I looked up this stat. I don't know if it's changed. I don't know if it's gotten lower. Hopefully it has not gotten lower. But the average scroll time for a TikTok video is like 1.7 seconds.
Yeah.
That's like
it's probably less than that now. Depending on how long ago you looked it up, it might be less than that now, unfortunately. But you don't have a lot of time.
Nope.
You don't. You got to be very, very quick. And you know, another factor I think of is like, does this video deserve to get views?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people make a lot of dog shit videos, and it's like, I really want to hear the why you think this video deserved to get views.
Exactly.
Why'd you post this iMovie montage? I don't like. Come on.
like you wanted the whole world to see your cool one shot snipe clips and saying everybody should look at this, and then it's like it's not even formatted correctly. It's in like a 16:9 aspect ratio. There's giant black bars on the top and the bottom. I'm like, expect me to watch this? Like, I don't even. And the thing that's so crazy that there's this giant like difference or like discrepancy between what they put out and what they watch. Like, they may watch somebody like Boomkid, for example. They are hooked to his videos. They love the hooks. They love how easily he gets you invested in the videos. And then the videos they put out is 480p, like shitty mic. There's no face cam, and then it's like,
yeah. The most like, how did you finish this? And you're like, this is up to par. Someone's gonna watch my video, and they're gonna swipe and watch Boomkid's video and be like, this is the same thing. This is the same quality. Or if anything, swipe back to yours. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually a great point. And I've had the like similar thoughts. It's like, do you not think about what you consume? Like, obviously, I'm not making Mr. Beast videos. No matter what amount of money you can pay me, even like if I didn't have to do the CGI part, I'm not making a Mr. Beast video. Hi, girlfriend made it to the podcast.
Perfect. Hey, I know you had told me beforehand, so I'm like, hey, I'm not even minding it. You know what I'm saying?
Huh? You're dying. We'll do a cut right here. Write down the timestamp.
Yeah, I edit these, so don't even worry.
Okay, right on. One second. Okay, she was outside organizing stuff in the storage unit, so we're gonna grab some water real quick and then we'll put her back to it.
Okay. We good to continue?
She's gonna walk through the camera one more time and then.
Okay. All good. Let me know. I'm just gonna sort of dive into which question I want to ask next. Bam.
Can you hear her walking back and forth?
No.
Okay, cool. So then we're gonna. No, you're good. You're good. Oh, your phone. Oh, I have it. You hot? Yeah, that's. Are you done? Okay, awesome. What question's next?
I
don't remember what you were saying.
All good.
We're not starting again. Hold on, just one second. Where were we?
Okay. Let me see. I think we were talking. Yeah, we were talking about how. I think the next thing I was going to ask was how vital the platform of TikTok was for a creator. But I think it basically covered that to an extent. I may move to.
No, we need to touch on TikTok.
Okay.
There's points we could make.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Oh, yeah, we're good.
Okay, we're good.
Restart however you want.
Okay. Actually, I'll just dive straight into it. So pretty sure there should be a cut right there. We jump back into it. Slight intermission,
Yep.
ladies and gentlemen. All good. We're back into it. You know what I'm saying? Look, just letting you know, we're people with lives. This happens. This is real life. Real life when we do these. So, I think I want to dive a little bit more into how vital the platform TikTok is. As much shit as the platform gets, I know people saying Chinese and spyware and blah blah blah. Still, it is a very. There was a tweet. I'm actually glad I stuck with this because there was a tweet I saw. I think even you retweeted as well. Some guy was saying while everybody's beefing about Twitter versus Kick, or no, not Twitter, Twitch versus Kick, and he said, meanwhile, and then it was like he had posted I think it was for like an ad campaign on TikTok, and he said the ad video was completed and they're trying to pay you, it was like $46,000 for one video. For one video.
Yeah, people, there's a lot of arguing. People are like, Twitch, Kick, YouTube, where do I stream? Where do I put my content? You know, you can put your short form on YouTube, you can put your short form everywhere. They have Reels and YouTube Shorts and TikTok videos. And so, you know, those are all great places. You have to post different content, varying content on the different ones to adjust for each platform's, you know, differences, different audiences and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But TikTok has live streaming. It has live streaming as well. It's great.
Even short form live streaming too.
Yeah, in short form live streaming, it's 19 or 1080 by 1920 for everyone's phone. Real easy. You know, it's hard. Same thing. You need a good hook, so you need something on your stream that gives it an element that make people watch it and care about it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's hard to. It can be hard to grow on TikTok, but TikTok has everything you could possibly need to become a full-time creator. It has you can start posting your short form content, and then at 5,000 followers is a perfect time. I think any YouTuber would agree. If you have 5,000 subscribers, 5,000 followers on Instagram, you know, you're trying to grow your content. I'm going to start making merch. So with TikTok, start making merch. You put it on TikTok Shop. Super easy to link your merchandiser, link your warehouse, and make videos. And then the link's on the video, and they can buy it while still watching your video. That's pretty great. TikTok Shop's pretty great for that. Mm-hmm. So then you're selling your merch on TikTok. You only have 5,000 followers. You're growing. You're getting sales. TikTok, you know, and if you have a TikTok shop, if you make good merch and your TikTok shop video goes viral, you might just get a ton of salespeople who just love your merch and who just love what you create in your clothes. So you're getting sales, making a little bit of income. Then you hit 10,000 followers and you can start making long form content. And you get the creativity beta. And, you know, that's a new skill you're going to have to learn. You go from making short form videos, just people watching a little bit, liking it, maybe following, and then go from there. I don't think a lot of people start off making longer videos on TikTok. They probably keep it like 30 seconds or shorter. But then you get the beta, which is 1 minute videos can get monetized. And, you know, there's a couple factors, how long people actually watch them. You know, if you get 1 million views on a 1 minute video, but nobody watched past like 10 seconds, you didn't really get the view. So you don't really get paid for that one. But, you know, that's great. You start making long form content. I'm sure if anyone's a content creator or follows content creators on TikTok, on Twitch, on Twitter, a TikToker post on Twitter, they'll post their creativity beta earnings, and I've seen tens of thousands of dollars in there from one long form popping off. And, you know, you have your RPM and your CPM start playing into effect there. You know, that's when you start getting more brand deals because you have a CPM, so brands can more accurately pay you per 1,000 views for your sponsorship. And you know, just like that, you have 2 revenue streams built into TikTok, and you haven't even grown any other platform. All you got to do is build on TikTok. Mm-hmm. Keep growing. The next milestone's a while. I actually skipped a milestone. Was the 1,000 follower, which is just going live on TikTok.
Yeah.
1,000 followers, you can get access to Live Studio, and or you can just stream from your phone. And both are great. All forms are great. You can make good money doing any of them. Streaming just from your phone is more profitable right now, just because Live Studio is not the best.
Yeah.
Any streamer who has ever used OBS knows Live Studio blows, but TikTok developed it, and TikTok streams from Live Studio get pushed harder than stream keys.
Exactly.
So you just gotta deal with it.
Yeah.
But then so if you do live, and you know, unfortunately they got rid of the creator fund, which was also 1,000 followers, I think, but you know that's gone. But so you have live, TikTok Shop, and now the creativity beta. You have 3 income streams you've built off TikTok. And you only have 10,000 followers, one platform. And then you get to 50K. And at 50K is the TikTok Creativity Challenge, which is where I've made most of my, actually, like all of my money. and was where I've seen the most growth and the most mastery. And that's making those shitty ads where someone's very clearly not playing the game. And all the comments are this person's not playing the game, but then you download it because you're like, there's no way this shit's real. You download it, boom, they got a conversion, and you just gave that guy a paycheck. Because the TTCC, TikTok Creativity Challenge, or the UGC, as you'll also see people call it, that's like the fastest step into making this a full-time job. I mean, the fastest step. Me working with creators, taking a percentage, not a flat rate, taking a percentage on the TTCC made this a full-time job for me. And that's just, there's so much money to be made there. One video can make you upwards of $25,000.
One video.
Okay, I was just doing my taxes. You know how much money I made in 2023?
How much?
$23,000.
23,000?
So from one video, you can make more than I made in all of 2023. Half of which I had a real, very full-time job for. Like, the TTCC is just ridiculous. There's some competition, there's a learning curve, but that's where DS Media steps in, and we help you out there. So if you have 50K on TikTok, and you're in the US, you have to be in the US. 50K on TikTok and in the US. My DMs.
Hit my boy up. Say, I'll say this right now. Look, I'm a part of it. All right. I'm a part of it. So I hey, look, it's a first-hand vouch. I know what the hell he's talking about. All right. I'll be honest. The process that you guys have something great. Just the process of everything flows smoothly. There's never been a time where I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here? There's never been a time where I'm like, what the hell are these guys doing there? Everything runs smoothly, seamlessly. So hey, iBlakis on Twitter. Hit my boy up. And that's actually the next topic that we're about to go into, which is being one of the 3 owners for DSB Media. So there's 3 owners. There's Blake. There's Super, which was a guest on a previous podcast episode. Shout out my boy Super. We learned he gave so much game for TikTok. So
yeah, he's a genius there.
My boy is a genius. And the third one being Dot Mild, which I actually looked him up. I actually saw his content. I'm like, oh shit. My boy got a whole catalog of content, a whole plethora of content. So all 3 of y'all came together, and I remember you had mentioned that Dot had hit you up beforehand because he had saw that you did work with Boom Kid, and he was like, hey, I'm starting this, and I want to make videos for the TikTok Creative Challenge. Would you like to be a part? You came into the mix. So at what point, when did Super come into the mix for you guys to create DSB?
So I owe a ton to Dot for how much he helped me out going full time. Like I said, that was in May. That's when I still had my job, and I was transitioning into this. And so I was just looking for clients. I needed clients, and I don't know 100% how he met Super. I know Super worked with HOF and worked with Bang Productions, and Dot was doing stuff. And because Dot does stuff in he plays Madden, so he's pretty connected to like NFL players and to like other in that ecosystem. So I just think somehow in passing they were able to catch each other, and they knew each other from stuff. And then Dot was like, hey, I got a client. This guy's super, very cool guy. And I knew who Travis was before because I remember him from Warzone 1 and those clips. And I remember him so much. I used to think he was cheating because he was the Red Dot Car 98 guy. And I was there's no way this guy's real. Like the second I saw his page, I knew who he was. Man. So I started doing the same thing. I started doing ads for Travis and just learning that. And he really let me just take control of it because Dot was running everything before and I was just editing it. Travis was like, hey, you just pick all the spots, you do everything, and then I'll just record. And so that, then we were going about it that way. And, I learned everything. It was in my hands. I was taking a percentage. I needed to learn the full program. And I just mastered it. And I was kind of doing like a job here and there for Dot. My work with him changed. Like I only did ads for him for like 2 months. And then I did all the short form. And then I was doing his YouTube. And then I was doing both. But we always stayed in contact. And we were just doing ads. And we all kind of had different skills and expertises in different spaces. Dot's expertise is in business. And doing that stuff, it's a joke with us owners that he's AI that escaped the factory and just learned business to fit in with the humans. He's so good at it, and like he loves like spreadsheets and making spreadsheets and stuff. So like that's his expertise. We're like, you got it, man. You were writing all of our legal documents.
Yep.
And then Travis had all these connections, and he knows all these people, and he's working for Bang Productions and HOF, and he just had all this ability, or like all these connections, but he couldn't capitalize on it because he didn't have the team and skills. And then I was just the creative guy. I just knew how to edit. I knew how to produce. I could write now. I could help out in any form of the creative process. So we all were just kind of came together, and we're like, how can we build something? And I was in so DSB founded December in the December 5th was the first day we launched technically, or our government day, because we technically don't have an official launch. Super's tweet just the other day was like, as much of a launch
as much of an official launch we can get.
Yeah, for right now. Stay tuned. Follow DSB Media Agency on Twitter or X, whatever.
But, yeah, I've never called it X today. It's still Twitter. It's Twitter.
It's bookmarked as Twitter. It's in my phone, so I changed the app name in my phone.
Yeah.
to Twitter. But yeah, that's how we met, and we all just kind of stayed in touch and had different skills, and just were like, let's make something bigger than what we are, because we knew the potential, and since we know so much about everything, we knew what we're building now just can offer so much more and bring so many more opportunities to not just ourselves, but to other people. I mean, we've been able to bring you on, the creator you work with. We have 10 editors we've hired. We've worked with 14 creators. We couldn't do that as individuals, but as a team, we've been able to build something pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. So you would say that's the one key thing in terms of trying to, let's say, because I know people out there, a lot of you guys want to be entrepreneurs. Some of you guys hate jobs. I get that. Look, we get it. Look, I'm still in college. I know what the job market looks like. I know it fucking sucks. I know it fucking sucks. And then even then, once you do get a job, you're still one cough, sneeze, slip, fall from getting fired. Or they just look at their budget and they say, yeah, we need to cut this. And then they're like, but we can't cut people. Well, start firing people. Boom, you're done. Doesn't matter how good you are. You could be the greatest guy on earth. Done. So, and then the people there, they're getting overworked even more, getting paid the same amount, So trust me, I do see that. So anybody out there who is looking to start a business, which let's say, for example, you and your friends are in a room and you're like, yo, we could do this, we could do that. We could come together and come up with this great idea. Everybody's had those talks with at least their friends, sitting down thinking, man, we could do this. Man, you do this. Man, you're good at this. You could do that. And then, but you guys actually brought it to fruition. So you would say, at least sort of a question. You would say that the greatest thing about DSB was each of you guys focused on your strengths and said, hey, I'm good at this, you're good at this. Okay, so Dot's good at this, Super's good at this, I'm great at this. We can create something if we all put our heads together. And like you had said, he's a maniac for business. He loves it. He's like, you stick to that. I want no parts of that.
I'm happy he does it. I want no part of it. So it's like, you got it. Yeah, and also everyone's doers. We all do. We've worked with a lot of people that aren't doers. They don't get shit done, and that just doesn't work.
Like that,
that doesn't fly. And the only people who have ever been a part of DSB and really stuck with us, and that we've ever hired, are people who've proved that they're doers. The thing I had you go through, the academy, and the couple of steps you had to take before I fully hired you as an editor. But it was just to prove that you were going to sit there and do that and prove that you'll do it because you wanted it.
Yep.
And other people were like, hey, I need you to do X, Y, Z. And they just couldn't. And they gave us every excuse under the sun. And, for a guy like Travis, he's a border patrol agent. He has 2 kids. He's got his family. Now he does the stuff on the internet. And he was still getting me ads. And he was still even creating content when we had to create content sometimes. And what's your excuse? How much as I was working and I was still editing the videos. That's the longest part of the process. And I don't need this excuse from you. So I think the biggest part is one, having the different skills to come together for sure, but it's definitely you can get shit done. Everyone was getting things done before we started DSB, and people who wanted to come in, we know their habits, and we're just nope, we're not. We just kind of dodge the question a little bit because we need people who are doers. It helps nobody involved if that person doesn't get something done.
Exactly. Because granted, hey, you could say, hey, look, man, I can't you not, bro. Blake, you got to understand, bro. I was driving down the street, man. This meteor just hit my Tesla. It just blew up half the block, man. It's insane, dude. I just couldn't get the video done. Bro, it's look, what? At one point, cool. And I guarantee we've both heard this phrase before. The excuses only sound good to the person making them. It really does. It really does. Because to me, I'm always going to be like, well, could have found more time. Well, yeah, I needed to sleep. Cut out an hour or 2 of sleep. Probably would have woke up still at the same time. Would have been all right. But that's how we always look at it. Because to you, it's oh, yeah, man, I needed, this came up and that came up. And sometimes even with people I worked with before, I'm like, hey, we need to do this. They're like, oh, man, but this came up. And then there was another excuse. Oh, man, this came up. At one point, it's just Have fun with
Yeah,
your excuses.
yeah, and you're not even like mad. You're just like, I'm good.
Yeah, you just
You know
like,
what? Never mind.
yeah, like,
Forget I asked.
yeah, like you're better at making excuses than doing the work. Stick to that. just stick to
Yeah.
that. So that's another
Yeah.
thing, a key thing. So stick with people that have no excuses. Understand that, hey, these are our strengths. We came together, and it's great how it's like Doc can hit you up like, hey, Blake, I really need you to do these spreadsheets. Nope, nope, that's all you. Nope, that's all you got.
That's your job. And also,
Yes.
I know I can call them and be like, I need XYZ, and it gets done.
Mm-hmm.
And and we all, but also like, he's not, that's not calling me to be like, I need you to do the contracts.
Yeah.
I'm not getting that phone call.
Mm-hmm.
I might, we might call, but then we'll call Don and be like, hey, we need to work on XYZ, and we'll all do it together. But like, right now, tonight, we have some things we're working on, and Dot's just drafting it. I'm not worried about it. I know he's going to send it to us at some point. Versus there's other people who might, if it was them in the shoes, I'm like, I really hope they get that done tonight.
Yep.
Because we know the timeline of the things that are coming up next week, and us missing that could push our timeline from us launching next week to us literally launching in a month instead. I'm like, that's painful when you're putting so much work into it, and all of a sudden someone couldn't sit down for 3 or 4 hours to do this thing, and now we're host.
Yep. There you go.
So,
You know what I'm saying? There you go. So for those y'all, I hope y'all out there are listening. All right, if you got a group of friends and you guys have been saying you're gonna blow up or you guys are gonna become rich and this, that, third, if it's been anything more than like 3 months, or if some of y'all been talking about the same conversation for 2 years. I've had some people like that. Like we sit there and
I've had the same ones.
yeah, like we sit. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, just start doing. The conversation's great and all, but start doing. And then if you don't start doing, just change your conversation. Just say imagine. Just say, don't say we should do this and we're gonna do this. But and then also it's if it's your friend group, say there's 5 of you guys, but only 4 of you really have the ideas. But there's that one who like, he's your homie still. There's not all love, all love. This guy's not making the cut. This guy isn't doing it. I can relate to that. I do. I have friends that are a part of the work I do, and they do great at it, and we talk every day about it. And then I have another friend who I'd have an honest conversation with and say, I need XYZ from you if this is what you want. And he didn't do the things. He did offer an excuse, but I had that conversation with him where I was like, I need to be able to trust you. You got to have the respect for me to get this done. And he didn't. So you got to know I am bringing you on. And we're cool. And one day maybe something will come up for him. But for now, it's like, you can't help me, and I still love you. But you're not eating right now.
It's all love,
You're
man.
not.
It's all love. You gotta.
You're not a part, and hopefully they'll understand that. Because if someone has no value and they want to be a part of this team, all of a sudden it's like, dog, you need to reality check.
It's some people that are just like that. They don't contribute shit. Then later down the line, oh man, we were supposed to do this. I'm like, I don't even want to hear any of that shit. Just stop right there.
It's like, hold that. We're good. Let's talk about it in 10 minutes, and then you just don't come back.
Just never come back in 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? That's how you gotta treat them sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Hey, how about you know what I'm saying? Let's flip the tables. I'm the one bringing excuses. I can't do this. My leg hurts, man. I kid you not, man. It's been like 3 months. Just keeps hurting, bro. So I'm gonna have to catch you later.
You're like, later. I'm good.
never hit him up. You feel me? So the next question I didn't want to ask, which is a little bit of current news. More than likely, I absolutely hope to get this podcast out as fast as possible because this is somewhat relevant news. It's going to be more than likely pretty relevant down the line as well. But this is regarding the quote-unquote TikTok ban. Because I know a lot of people have always said, oh, yeah, TikTok's going to get banned. Platform's still up. Oh, it's going to get banned. Still keeps going. But I know in this case, if I'm not mistaken, anybody who's listening, even Blake, you can say, hey, Rex, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Feel free to step in and be like, you're wrong. But from what I'm assuming is that I think the issue is that obviously the company is not owned by people that are in the U.S. That's the biggest problem. And then the U.S. doesn't exactly have control over where the information is being sent because it's U.S. users, but they don't know where the information is going. They don't exactly know what to do with it. And then they claim that, hey, they're using the information to spy on Americans and this, that, and the third. And they're like, hey, we can't trust it because we can't control it. And then now they're talking about that there's more likely going to be a quote-unquote ban and that the company would need to be sold to some sort of purchaser in America in order for it to be up, or they ban it in the U.S. So, in your case, at least from what you've learned about what's going on with this apparent or supposed ban, will it affect anything work-related, at least from what you know so far?
if it gets banned, I mean, we're host. But no, we don't. We have no reason. First of all, it's the exact same TikTok ban bill that has been proposed every single time. Like the writing for the TikTok ban itself, because the bill is one of those like super bills, so it has a bunch of other laws. You know, they're not just banning TikTok with this. They're changing your taxes. They're making sure senators get paid more. You know, rich people are getting tax cuts. Whatever's in that bill, but. You know, we've got 160, you know, since the day we learned about it, when we were like 160 days now since, we have like 6 months since this ban's supposed to happen. TikTok's owned by ByteDance. ByteDance makes $500 billion a year, if not more. That's what we know about. They could totally lie that number, and I believe that number is probably higher because of how big the company is also within China, you know, because China has over 1 billion people. And ByteDance and like only 2 other companies like dominate the entire market share of all internet space in China, mainly because the government allows it. They're okay with that. They pay the government very well to allow this monopoly to happen. But here in the U.S., you know, if all they have to do is sell it to a U.S. buyer, they'll just make a company in the U.S. They have so much money, they'll just make a company here in the U.S. and just sell it to that company, and then ByteDance will buy the U.S. based company, and TikTok still exists. Like. It's too implemented, and also like the impact that TikTok actually has on our economy at this point, which how much market share they also have just in the internet space and online shopping, in ad space, in watch hours, clicks, conversions. Like it just, I think the pros and cons got to be weighed out a little bit more, and obviously I think those are being talked about within Congress. I don't even think the bill will pass Congress, but even then. If it does somehow get banned, they have 160 days. They'll quickly set up the U.S.-based company that will just buy TikTok. Like they have too much money for. They sign the bill and TikTok's gone all of a sudden.
Yeah,
that's not,
like that's not gonna happen.
Come on, let's think about this a little bit. And also, in terms of data, it's a fair concern that your data is being sent off to China. Your data's not safe anyways. The government can track you from, do you own a smartphone? If you're listening to this podcast, I promise you own a smartphone. The government knows exactly where you're sitting. If someone wanted to know, they can. They've got satellites. If you look at your phone, you have those little bars. If you're connected to Wi-Fi, boop, internet, you know, like you're connected to a satellite, you're connected to a cell tower, your coordinates, you're not. Like China's hacking our big companies like Meta and our databases. They probably have your email and your phone number and your and the videos you like watching. Like the information you might be concerned about them having, they probably already have.
Yeah, like like when we were kids, there was always some guy saying, "Oh, I pulled your IP." So if some random guy in the middle of butt fucking pull your IP, what do you think these giant companies are able to do? Like they already have it. Like it's not. What are we worried about? They already know where you are. Like
to be concerned with your your security and information. That's completely fair.
Mm-hmm.
We're a little late to be concerned about it, though. That concern was needed 20 years ago when all this was started. We were past it. We weren't concerned with it soon enough. They already own your information. The only way to really go invisible is you go off the grid, but then they still have your information up until you just disappeared.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just not... Like, the bigger picture reality is, like, if China wants our information, they already have it and already got it. Mm-hmm. And we still have record-breaking data breaches. We just had one in January where odds are you probably had an account password recently. You probably got an email for it that it got stolen. It happens. That's a common thing. But it was probably from that data breach. I'm still dealing with my passwords being stolen, like getting an email about it. Like, TikTok's the least of your problems. Temu's literally malware. Look up what Temu is. Temu is literally malware. It injects Python code into your system, no matter what you're using, to illegally steal your information and then give it to the Chinese government.
Well, we need to talk about that then. You know what I'm saying? We need to talk about that then.
There's bigger fish to fry than just the app TikTok and ByteDance. And they do a lot for the U.S. economy. They've built all of DSB. I don't want TikTok to go away. So I like my job.
And I'll say this as well. I'll post on TikTok as well. I stream on there. I make my videos. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to TikTok Shop, because every now and again, where's my controller at? You know what I'm saying? I make a Control Freaks video. You know what I'm saying? Half of the comments are saying that I'm dog shit. The other half of the comments is people talking shit. But hey, you know, they come back. You know what I'm saying? And the thing I completely off topic, but I love engaging with the comments because they always come back, and then there's more commenting on top of that. The video gets pushed out even more. You guys are helping me so much, even though you think you're not. But there's TikTok Shop, there's the creativity beta program, there's the live stream. Like, I feel like the app's too established to just go kapoof because these guys are saying what's happening with our information. Well, like how you had mentioned, it's owned by ByteDance. If they really wanted to, they could just move to the US, just start a company there. They, you know what I'm saying? They buy TikTok, boom, ByteDance buys that company, bam, that's it. And then everything's, but from our perspective, nothing happened. From our perspective, nothing happened. It could easily happen like that. So, for sure.
Yeah, and TikTok's algorithms are the most advanced. They're the best. It's not going away. Don't worry too much. Plus, there's a lot of time in between now and then. So, like, to freak out now is like a little premature. We got a couple steps in between. And plus, the things we're building, there's no way they'd be happening if it was actually getting banned. Let's just
We'll just know. He's not a chef no more. He's still cooking though. Just know that. He ain't a chef no more. He's still cooking. Just know that. So, actually, glad you said that because that's actually the next topic that I have on my list of topics. What are the future plans or future endeavors that Mr. Blake will be engaging into, or whether it's related to DSB in general, that you will be partaking in that you can speak on? Any future plans? Any things you got planned for the future at all?
So I'm building. We currently work in the TTCC pretty heavily. We have a lot of clients there, so we're just going to be expanding there. We plan on expanding our team internally in writers, editors, maybe build our client list a little bit bigger. That's just there. We're not going to get too big there because we still need to have some control, and of course, just quality control. If you have too many creators, it gets too formulaic. It's supposed to be a creativity challenge, and if you have that many people, you need systems and stuff in place, and that just takes the creativity out of it. So that's where we're at there. We're looking to expand into our live streaming side soon. We want to talk to more streamers, help them grow their revenue bases. We have a couple things coming up there where we can really help live streamers. Can't speak on that too much yet, but that'll be really exciting. Follow us there. We're looking to expand into our TikTok shop, just learn more about TikTok shop, how we can make money, how we can help creators in TikTok shop. That's a big opportunity. I can't ignore the thousands of tweets I see, not thousands, but hundreds of tweets I see of creators being like, I made $500 from this one video. And then I take the same video, reposted it on my other page that has TikTok shop, and it made another 500 there. And there's just a lot of money there. So we want to dive into that. We know that it's just drop shipping basically, but all in TikTok now. So those same systems have already been built. We can just apply them now into TikTok shop. Get on TikTok shop. If you're not yet and you think you're not going to do it for whatever reason, you're wrong.
I'm gonna give a little bit of I'm gonna get a little financial insight as well. I never talk about numbers on here because, like I always say, people come on this podcast and not give a damn about me. I'm gonna do it anyways. So what I will say is, I have a video that is pinned on my TikTok page, and because I'm gonna give some first hand vouching for my boy Blake is saying right now, right? There's a video I have pinned. It is my very first Control Freaks, TikTok shop video that I made. At first, didn't perform that well, and then out of nowhere, it just went from like 5K to fucking 60K. Now it's at 441K.
Damn.
And let me say, the vids made me like $500. The vids made me like one video.
That's what I'm saying. And you just basically built passive income.
Yep. Off Control Freaks that I've had since Modern Warfare 2019.
There you go. Beautiful.
They've been sitting on my,
I have an air purifier over here I got from TikTok Shop, and it keeps the air nice and clean. I love TikTok Shop. Like it.
I love it.
As much garbage as might be on there, I love it. It might take over my Amazon habits.
yeah. We might transfer the habits over to TikTok Shop, but it's all good though.
Yeah, the Chinese have my information, but the products are quality. No, and my other future plans, like I'm just building DSB out. This is going to be my project. I look to, I still edit for one client. Technically, it's BoomKid still. I edit everything for BoomKid on his page and all BoomKid posts on the New York Subliners. So that's been pretty cool.
I did see
thinking about, that backing up a little bit, being a COD kid, wanting to join teams, trying to be competitive, to edit for the New York Subliners. That's pretty cool. That happened recently. So that's been a lot of fun. But I am looking to not edit anymore probably soon. We've got some ventures coming up that are just going to take me away. I'm already setting up systems within DSB because before I was picking up all the Slack work, and now I just can't. I just can't be relied on to have a video done all the time. Like I just have so many things going on. It's hard for me just to sit and edit now. Mm-hmm. So, I'm looking to hopefully get out of editing, have my staff hired enough to, be able to take care of all that. We have a couple of things we're building for creators right now that I can't speak on too much because, of course, the creators haven't spoke, so I can't yet. But, we're growing. We're learning more. DSB's expanding. However I can grow that, I will be. We have a couple big announcements definitely coming up in March that I can't wait for. Literally both might happen Monday. We're just kind of waiting on a couple things that are out of our control. But, just DSB. Those are my future plans. Keep creating what we're creating now, expanding, learning, improving, trying new things and failing. There's a lot of that still. As many things as I've done, as many videos as I've made, I bomb a lot. I get a lot of 0 views. That's why I tweeted the other day, make something you're afraid about not getting any views. You're not going to learn anything if you don't make it.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. And also, if anything, kind of numbs you to that, fear of, is this video going to do good? But hey, let's say it's a video you think is terrible and you upload it and you're like, okay, well, that didn't kill me, and then you do it again. And at one point, that feeling starts to fade away of, is this video going to do? Like, I even tell people that now. Like, granted, I'm happy if a video does great. But also, at the same time, I think to an extent, if you don't care about the views, you also shouldn't care entirely as well, even if it does great. Because if it has 1 million views, I'm gonna be like, holy shit, I got 1 million views. I'm not a robot, what I'm saying? Obviously, I'm gonna be like, damn, I hit 1 million views. But if the video does bad, it's whatever.
Yeah, and and like how long I've been doing it now, and I know it's different for a lot of creators. Everyone's just different this way, but like I've gotten like. I just had the term for it. I just made up and I already forgot it. Like analytical fatigue. Like I'm so tired of looking at how many views something got.
Yeah.
Just focus on improving the video. You know where you struggled to make that last video. Just figure out how to make it better and get better at that process. For me, it's usually in editing and it'll be like, a transition moves weird. It gets a little buggy. I don't like how something didn't slide out. I don't like when the sound, I'm going to fix those. And that's where I get my enjoyment is watching that video improve. And then you're not supposed to read comments. Don't recommend it. But I just look for comments, people being like, nice edit. Because that's where, obviously, if someone says, like, this video sucks, I usually don't take the blame. I'm usually like, it's the creator's fault. It's not my fault.
Yeah.
But, that's, you can't, just looking at the numbers and being so worried about, like, I only got 10 views. It's like, yeah, but you made a video today. Someone else didn't. And you're ahead of that person. You're only in competition with yourself. Because in reality, I've worked with so many creators of, like, similar followings. And I've seen, like, monetization ranges, like how much they're bringing in every single month. Again, so we're just going to say this person I'm working with has 400,000 followers on TikTok. We'll say 100,000 cumulative across Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And they don't stream. They have no streaming income here. I've seen on the low end, they're literally making $0 a month because they don't know how to monetize it. And they have all systems in place to be able to make tons of money on TikTok. And then I've also seen it on the upper end where someone's literally making $400,000 a month on TikTok because they know how to monetize the process in between. And the guy at the very end who's making all that money doesn't look at every single video and it's like, okay, that one only got 10 views. Okay, I need that to have 100 views or else I'm gonna quit. He's just like, 10 views, million views. Cool, million views. Okay, we'll try that again. Doesn't get it. Okay, that failed. Hits. Like, we just create day in and day out. Me and Boom made hundreds of videos before anything popped off. And then all of a sudden we were getting stitched by Nade Shot. And he had Arcides in his DMs. And he had other pros. And like, we failed. And then it starts growing. And then MW2 is still a bad game. So then you slow down again and the views drop. But we're like, just keep improving. That dead space when we had literally 0 growth on TikTok from MW2, our videos completely improved. Got better videos, and then MW3 came out, and those skills we learned, the opportunity we were ready for. Mm-hmm. We created better content, and he joined us in New York Subliners. We weren't joining the New York Subliners on what we were making, a year ago.
Yeah.
We had to improve every single day. So, is there a moth in my camera, or is that?
Yeah, it was. I was a little confused. I was like, I thought it would go away.
Like,
But
what is that?
I thought it would go away, but I'm like, why, bro? Just pull up in the middle of a camera. This ain't your podcast episode. Get out of here. We worry about you, man. But yeah. The final question that I have, which I love asking this question because this is I just love asking this question. I don't want to give too much context on it because I'm going to give away what the question is. But final question is, who would you want to see on the next episode of the One Shot Podcast? And in this case, being, let's say you're like, hey, I know this guy would be a great person to have on here. Or, hey, you should hit up this guy. Man, he has a lot to talk about. He's somebody who's great for conversation. Who would you say you'd want to see on the next episode?
He's not going to expect this at all. And you don't really know him. He's another manager and agent for DSB. I'm from Cleveland, Dustin, Kush. All of those names have been his Discord name. All of them very much relate to him very distinctly. And he's a good friend of mine, but he's had a really cool life. And the things he was doing before COVID would blow your mind. And I think he'd be, and he's a rambler. He'll give you great stories, and you'll hear things you definitely haven't heard from before. So another DSB member, another DSB staff member. I'm from Kush, Dustin, Dusty Buns, whatever you want to call him. He's great. He'd be great.
Okay. I got my boy. I'm from Cleveland. Do we have anybody else we want to add to the list?
I mean, of course, Dot would be great on here. Dot's real smart. Dot's worked with a lot of cool people. He's worked big in this space with esports teams. And let me think. Do I have anyone else? I mean, those are definitely my top two. I try to think of. Nah, man, my circle's small. It really is. Like the people you see in DSB, the people you see. Hey, here's a recommendation on social media. Don't tell everyone what you're doing. Make sure you only tell a couple of people. And even then, you forget to tell those people because you're busy keeping it a secret.
That's a great piece of advice.
Just because you think you can trust this person, don't go tell someone so fast. And they might tell the person, hey man, listen to this thing that my other friend's doing. But the further that goes down the line, the less that next person cares. The person you can talk to, we don't even follow each other on Twitter, so I am just a name. And they tell someone, and they tell someone, and they tell someone. Yeah, I don't even know how that was related. That just came up, and I feel like a lot of people need to learn that lesson.
Yeah, because some people feel the need to address every single piece of their life and address it to like Twitter or Instagram or whatever social media platform they have. And I'm like, maybe you should probably should have held this back. Like, probably should have hit the.
You're an influencer, and your life is your job. But no, it's not.
No, it is not. It can be.
FaZe Jev, right? We just don't even know his last name.
That's crazy.
We don't even know his last name. He got engaged and married without telling anybody the actual timeline. It was just like, oh yeah, I got married 6 months ago. Like,
we didn't see pictures of a wedding. We didn't see nothing. We didn't hear.
He posts videos every day. He does commentary. So, yeah.
But also at the same time, you have to understand. For those y'all, I'm saying when I say you have to understand, I mean to you guys watching. The more you put out, the more. Essentially, you're responsible for that information. I don't know if you guys didn't realize that, but you're responsible for that information. So, like the thing with Jev, if somebody sees a woman in public, they could be like, oh, damn, that's Jev's wife. But do they know? No, not at all. Because the main thing with that is now you have to, because let's say, for example, because he has no control of what people say. They may love Jev. They may say something stupid in his wife's comment section or her post or something, or in her DM, something stupid. Because now you decide to introduce her to the rest of the world. Nothing wrong with that if that's your wife. You're like, hey, I want to show her off. But also understand there's some responsibility that comes with that. When you share those things, there's responsibility that comes with that. Other people can be affected by the things you do. Just because they like you doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna like the other person that you're with. Like a great
Austin McBroom.
Oh.
Austin McBroom and that family. Way too much sharing, and now we know everything that's happening. And honestly, who knows? He maybe had a better case if the entire internet didn't know exactly how he treated his family. And now the man lives in an RV and freaks out in Target at people who aren't talking to him. I don't know if you follow that situation. My girlfriend does. And
I saw there's another content creator I watch occasionally. His name is DDG. I saw he uploaded a TikTok one time, and it was Austin in an RV, and it was like a song, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm like, what the hell is going on? How is he in an He's divorced? I was like, bro, there was so much that was unwrapped within that 10 seconds of that TikTok, and I'm like, okay, because I never tuned into the maybe like 8 years ago I watched one of their videos or something, but like I watched them or heard anything about it, and then all of a sudden everything was learned within that 10 seconds. I'm like, okay, so he's divorced, they separated. Apparently, bro's in an RV somehow. DDG's making videos with him, and I'm like, okay, this is way too much for me to know at once, bro. But
just like, I'm good.
but then it's also like, hey, but what happened to such and such? What happened to such? See, that's how it's like, because you put out so much. Now people are tying to everything, and also another thing, people tie everything that they see on the internet to how you are as a person. So if you put out that I'm doing X, Y, Z, they're gonna always attribute the real version of you to your internet version or your internet, I guess, presence at the same time. So
Identity.
Yeah, identity. That's the right word I'm looking for. So, hey, the Jeff point was a great point because did I know? I didn't even know he got married. 6 million on YouTube.
Been a fan since 7th grade. Still no idea.
No idea. I just see the room, his headset. Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Jeff. That's it. That's Perfect. All we know. Perfect. You feel me? Perfect. You feel me? So, I lied. There's another question. I lied. There's another question. Final question. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I don't.
Just
I don't. That. I think you're great. I think I think what you're building here is pretty great.
Thank you.
I didn't know about all this when I met you. I didn't know who you were so it's cool seeing you build Havoc Nation. You got this podcast. I had a podcast myself years ago with a team I tried starting myself. Mm-hmm. Good luck finding it. My face is all over it though. And just keep going, man. Keep editing. Keep creating. Keep growing. I think you're following a good model right now. I think you have good things coming for you. And you've gained a listener with me in this podcast. I went back and I did my homework and listened to the podcast, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good.
Thank you. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that, because I started listening to them because I think there were some early episodes and I'm like, what the hell am I talking about, or what am I saying? Why am I speaking like that? So I'm trying to critique myself as much as possible. So to hear some of your stats are saying that they're listening to the episodes, that means a lot to me. So thank you very much. I appreciate that.
That's all I gotta say. Keep going.
For sure. Because the one thing I love about these podcasts is it dives more into, hey, I'm just some guy who talks about this gun is meta, or this is what you should do on a ranked player. No, like, hey, like, what's the story behind you? What cool thing did you do? What maybe bro was borderline dead at one point. You know what I'm saying? Maybe bro was in a coma or something. Hey, there's more to life than just being a gamer. That's why I love doing these, because they get to unwrap everything about that person.
Oh, here's a question. Will you have me back?
You know what I thought of doing? I thought of having, let's say, huh? Okay.
No, I'm just. I was like, hey, you better say yes. That's all I was saying.
I wasn't gonna say that. I had an idea. Let's say DSB launches something, or they implement something within their and within your processes, and you guys want to talk about it. Then I would be like, what if I got all 3 owners on here? I'm like that. I was like, hey, we can low key construct that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need to prepare. I need to drink. You know what I'm saying? I need to put on the gray sweatsuit. You know what I'm saying? The eye of the tiger. I gotta run up the stairs. The cardio. I gotta prepare for it. You know what I'm saying? But that would be an amazing episode.
That would be amazing.
So for sure, definitely
we'll do it. That's coming up. Thank you for having me. I very much appreciate being here. Havoc Nation. What's the podcast? Is it? No, it's One Shot Podcast. One Shot Podcast. Thank you for having me. And thanks for listening. Make sure to like, subscribe, tweet at RankedHTX, follow me at Blakis Games. All the links are going to be in the description. I'll make sure Ranks actually does it.
Yes. And yes, all links everywhere. He's iBlakis on Twitter. Make sure to follow DSB as well. Stay tuned for any new updates, any new implementations, any new things that they bring to the world. I'm telling y'all, I'm a part of DSB, and let me just say, there's things coming. I don't really know shit, but I just know that what we have right now is great. And the fact that there's even more great things, can't do nothing but look forward to it. So, hey, make sure you follow my boy Blake, all of his platforms, DSB on all of our platforms as well. Thank you to everybody who's tuned in and gotten this far into this episode of the One Shot Podcast. Make sure you guys follow Team Havoc Studios on all of our social media platforms. Check for our website. Also, trafficenergy.com. Code Havoc, 20% off.
Nice.
So, any final words for our listeners today, Mr. Blake?
No, man. Keep creating. Don't be afraid to create. Keep going. And, you can make it work. Just keep going. Start creating. Don't be afraid of a number.
For sure.
That's all I got.
For sure, man. So, hey, This finalizes the episode of the One Shot Podcast. To have my boy Blake. We'll catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.
Bye. Thanks for watching.